They're addicts. The prosecuting lawyers are demanding.
Yes, it is a packed courtroom here.
All right, in this video, I'm gonna try to cover all of the cosmetic issues. So we're gonna try to go through those really quick. The worst of the paint damage is here on the back bumper. I can open up the trunk. There's just some rock chips and things. There's also one of these pads, which I'll talk more about in a second, but you can just see there's some scuffs and scrapes along there. Inside, the sill plate is pretty solid. Not that bad at scratching, but for whatever reason, that is pretty bad. And then on the side of the car, there's not much. Two of the wheels have a little bit of curb rash. This one is just the teeniest little scrapes there. Looks like it's gotten black. I'm not sure why, this probably comes out. But otherwise, good. On the inside here, there is one scratch here. This has gone through the clear coat. No clue what caused that, was before me. Not in much danger, of course, but probably good to get that coated at least. Otherwise, nothing there. The seats in the back are in really good condition. As you might have seen from the pictures, there are dimples since we've been using car seats on both sides, but hopefully those will come out. They already look much better since I took them out yesterday, so those should go away pretty quickly. Now, is this the door? Yeah, so one door has a ding. Looks like that's coming up pretty easily. So that's really the only major ding on the whole car. I have not made any attempt to get rid of it. I think it's right on the line of being so small that it's really not worth, for me at least, because I might make it worse in the process, so haven't done anything there. But that's really the only one. One theme for the whole car is that the chrome trim has some oxidation, as you can see there. I did try going at it with some WD-40, which didn't help, so I think it does really need a legit polish. The rails up on the top are the same. A little bit harder to see, but you know, they just got that hard water look to it. All right, inside there's really not much. There's 60,000 miles-ish worth of creases, but not too bad. No cracking or anything bad there. Perforated leather, yeah, you can see there's a little bit of scratches and so forth, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape. Interior-wise, other than that, I'm not aware of anything, to be honest. While we're here, I will cover that I have this aftermarket guy installed. This is for obviously iPhone charging. I bought this 3D printed thing that fits in here. There is a ashtray lid that I will put back if the buyer wishes, or I could leave it here if they happen to be an iPhone user. So that's the cigarette charger there is charging that, as well as it's pre-wired for this dash cam I have. So another thing I'm leaving in there for now, just in case the buyer prefers that it stays. Alternatively, I can put it back, but I have all the parts and stuff for this. So yeah, it's got all that and it's in good condition. And it's very easy to work on this car. You literally just need a single plastic pry tool at the bottom here and it pops up. Very little modification required. I don't even think you have to take any screws out. So that was super easy. All right, keep moving. Again, we're just focusing on the damage here. I'll do a separate video covering everything else. This wheel is pretty much perfect. That, I believe, is just, yeah, some water trail. The front bumper, also pretty good. I've never really noticed any major chips, and I'm not seeing any. The entire car could use a little bit of clear coat correction, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. Headlights are both super clean. Hopefully that's coming across well. Looks like there is just the faintest scuff right here. I don't know if that's on there or a divot. Looks like a couple little scratches, so that could probably polish out. Windshield, I didn't really talk much about, but it's totally solid. And looks like it is not the original glass. All right, let's see if this is one of the other wheels with scuffs. No, I believe it is also perfect. That one's good. Nothing really to talk about here. There is just the faintest scratch there on the inside of that door panel. But it is on top of the clear coat, I believe. I don't think that's a scratch. It doesn't have any texture to it. So that might actually come out with a little bit of elbow grease. So presumably this must be the bad wheel. Yep, okay, so we got a couple scratches. A little bit of curb rash. This was not me, and there's no wear on the tires, so I'm guessing that was probably older on a previous set of tires. So yeah, but it's not very deep, so this could actually be sanded out and coated pretty easily. This guy is a little bit deeper grooves, so that one you would have to cut into it just a little bit more, but you could at least color correct it. And I think that's it. There's really nothing else wrong with it. I will post some additional pictures if I find anything else I'm not thinking of, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'll call it there. And of course, 8 seconds later, I remembered the other thing, which is not much of a big deal, but don't want to hide anything here, so just a heads up that this guy has ripped off. So that, if you want to be perfect, get a new one of those on eBay. Otherwise, you know, nothing else. All right, and this is gonna be the boring video. I'm gonna go through, hopefully do this as quick as I can, literally just pressing every single button and touching everything that you'd want to touch if you were here in person, just to show you that everything's working as expected. So I'm gonna start with these guys. No issues with the motors. It's pretty fast. Button is right there on the windshield wiper to open it back up. And this is close and lock. Still working. Okay, there's nothing else. There's no other buttons or anything on the back here. So let's look inside the trunk really quick. This is, I believe, empty. So whatever first aid kit or whatever was in here before is gone, but at least they left the nice little pouch. So you can replenish that, the Porsche branded one. This panel doesn't open. I think there's a fuse box behind there. So under the hard liner, not much to show. I gotta zoom out a little bit here. Here, I'll just take this all the way up. Under here, we just have the spare, some tools, everything's there. The Bose sub, and I'm not exactly sure if this is a trickle charger or what. I've never used it. That was in there, so that'll come with it. Let's get that back. Okay, next, there's actually no releases from the back. I was gonna reach over there and do that, but you only do that from the back seat. There was at one point a shelf that slides into here. That was not included when I got the car, so add that to your eBay list if you want the car fully back to stock. Close that. This guy, not much to show here other than that the seal is, or sorry, the cable here is broken. But otherwise it is popping open and shut just fine. Door handles, oh, and I can also show that the lock here, just locked, and the unlock is working on all of them. Hopefully you could hear that. And then on the front two doors, if you press and hold, it will fold the mirrors for you. That's how you do it in the early Macans. So that is online, and that'll stay folded until I turn the car on, which I probably need to do in order to access all the electronics. So let's do that. Or at least to put an accessory for now.
For example,
Turn that off for now. Okay, and I'm skipping steps. Let's go back to the back door. Just showing that the windows going all the way up and down. And those are auto up and down around the whole car. What else we got here? So here we have a 40-20-40 split. So the rear cup holders here. Oh gosh, dropping my phone and zooming in. Somebody help me. Okay, this 20 split middle comes down by itself, just like that. Or, oh, would you look at that? I just found some new damage I wasn't aware of. There is a crack in this plastic. How on earth did that happen? Okay, so somebody must have been getting wild in here at some point. Yeah, there's a pretty bad scratch along this side as well. Well, that's why we do these walkthroughs, to find these sort of things. So, yeah, good to know there. Haven't noticed any functionality problems, and it has not scratched or damaged this side of the seat, so at least that issue is contained. Oh yeah, heavy. Get those out of the way. All right, this back console doesn't have anything in it. I'm not even sure if there was an option for a screen back here or anything, or for aircon. I'm assuming that's what it was. And then cigarette, lighter, everything here is working good. I don't smoke, so. All right, and I just turned off my recording. Time to start over. And pretend that didn't happen. All right, just gonna demonstrate these windows are all working. Auto down, auto up. And then, what else did I forget? Oh yeah, the 60 split. This guy will take the middle with it. No issues there. And yeah, and I checked the sides. There were no other hidden damages that I wasn't aware of. Everything else looks pretty clean. I did not do seatbelts before. I suppose I could do that, but they are holding tight. Coming back real strong. If I remember correctly, the seatbelts are warranted for like ever, actually, aren't they? So that might not be as big of a concern. All right. Sorry, it's getting pretty hot here. Panting already. Okay, the driver's door, obviously a lot of buttons here. There is a button for opening that, which I already did in my recording I lost. Looks like it is open only, not shut. Unless maybe you could hold it down. I didn't try that, but I will show at least opening it still works. Okay. Driver's window is a little bit finicky to activate the auto down. Sometimes I have to try a couple times, but it does work. And obviously all the switches for the other ones are working. See over there. Yep. And this guy. All working out okay. And next up is mirrors. So picking the left mirror here. This guy's working out no problem, albeit slowly. Switching to the right. So no issues there. This is folding down the mirrors. And what was that? I'm not sure what that is. Oh, it looks like the blind spot monitoring. Turn it on or off. I didn't know you could turn that off. Obviously I want that on. Yeah, so that's the door. Let's come up here now. I'm just showing you the lights are working here. Just the reading lights, and then the door entry light. It's kind of nice looking, to be honest. The garage door, let me double check I'm pulled enough in. Oh, would you look at that? It's not crunch. Actually, I'm not, yeah, I'm a little close, so I'll demonstrate that that's working in a different clip or at the end. So for now, oh yeah, this is right where I noticed I stopped recording before. It was showing that the shade is opening and closing. It just takes a little bit because it is such a big shade. That does make it back. Oh, it's an auto. I don't have to hold it. Nice and smooth. And then there is a tilt. I don't think, oh, it does go all the way open. You learn something new every day. I've never done this. I didn't think it did. The early panos, I thought, were tilt only. I guess not. All right, very good. I had a demo of the lights on a separate video, so I'm not gonna cover those. Gonna move around here, show the hood popping up. No issues with the popper. The hydraulics are still totally fine here. No issues there. Any engine stuff or engine bay stuff is pretty hard to see because the packaging is so tight on the turbo. You can hardly see anything, but if anybody has any questions or want to see anything in particular, I'm more than happy to get a flashlight and dig around and try to do that. But you can see the new, the mounts are in there looking clean. All right, let's shut that. Very good. All right, and then last on the door buttons, I don't think I showed this one. Maybe I already did. I'll cut this out if I did. No problem there. Okay, now while I'm here, we'll start on the seats, which apparently, at least the passenger seat, needs the car to be on. So let's turn those on. Does mean it'll be a little loud in here. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Let's turn that off. AC, is there just an off button? Oops, I'm pressing the wrong button. Okay, AC's off. So I'll just show you that everybody's sliding and grooving the way they're supposed to. Lumbar support, not sure how visible it'll be. Oh wait, just kidding, that's the leg extender, which is also showing me I have a new little spot to clean. Then we have the back. No issues there. And this is the lumbar support right here. I have no clue if that's visible. I think it is, but up and down may be harder to see. But it does work. I promise. And nobody selling a car has ever lied. Glove box, no issues there. It's not huge, but it fits the docks, no problem. All the air vents, well, why don't I stay on topic here. We'll do the seats first. Show the same thing over here on these seats, going forward and back. Backrest, let's go to 0.5. Backrest is going, oh yeah, I forgot the headrests also go forward and backwards. And that's working fine on both of them. All right. Okay, and then the leg extension, no problem there. And then once again, lumbar support. Might be a little hard to see. Let's see if I can get it to puff up its chest. Yeah, I can't really see it on the camera myself, but hopefully that comes through at least a little bit. Kind of have to push back. Yeah. Have to take my word on that one, I think. The memory is working fine. There's also a comfort entry mode. I have it turned off because we previously had car seats behind us, but there's a comfort entry mode. So it'll scoot back and raise the steering wheel and stuff. Which I suppose I could show here that it is raising and lowering and telescoping just fine. Okay, and then I have my seat way back. I will now press 2. Hopefully you can hear the seat moving. Oh, you have to hold it down. And that memorizes the steering wheel position as well. So that's all working. All right, what else we got here? We can start with some audio.
Part of me that is trying.
No judging me for listening to NPR, please.
This.
All right, and on this we have the volume and pause play or just mute if you're on radio. Star button's programmable. Not sure what it does. Phone system I've never actually used. Presumably it does work. The Bluetooth stuff works totally fine. And then over here is just for navigating this little side menu over here, which can give you your maps and all that stuff. It's pretty decent for 2015. And what else do we have? So I'm not going to go into too much details. I'm just going to kind of prove that the touchscreen works here. You can read up on this system if you want to know more about what it can do. The navigation does still work. You probably don't need to use it because I have installed an aftermarket wireless CarPlay and Android Auto thing. The way you get to that is just holding down the info button. And I have some documentation with that for that module that I'll bring or I'll include as well. So you know what it is and how to work it and whatnot. The disc reader, I'm not sure if it actually, you can play music from it or if it's just for navigation discs. I'm not sure, haven't touched it. Same with SIM card. So I don't have any validation for you there. Next I'll blast the air Yeah, let me get that back to a reasonable level. Everything is working really good. All the vents are totally fine. It's blowing cold, blowing hot, no problems. Let's turn that off. Is there just an off button? I don't think so. So you have circulation here, sync between the two sides, and then just some typical stuff. This guy, I'm not sure what it does. So you can read into that. I actually don't know. Everything else here is for the various different seat and climate stuffs. Auto, of course, just does auto for your side and where you want the air. We have both heated and ventilated seats, which you can actually activate at the same time, interestingly. Let me turn this back off. I want you to at least be able to hear the fans. I'm gonna turn it off. Hopefully you can hear that activate. So that is working. Electric parking brake. And then of course we have some stuff. Sport, suspension, traction control, etc., etc. There is a lane keep. I think it just beeps you if you go over the line. And then auto, I can't remember what that is. I think that's the auto engine off and it's deactivated. I might be wrong about that. You can fact check me on there. All right, let's not hit the accelerator. Glove box, totally fine. We got USB and an aux port, and then a 12 volt outlet. It is not huge. It doesn't go underneath or anything. And this guy does slide forward, cover up the cup holders. Yeah, under here, of course, we have the cigarette, the other cigarette lighter, which I have sort of wired up for this to charge both the, or to power both this charging puck on this 3D printed thing I got for this little spot, specifically for iPhones, and then also to power the dash cam I have hidden over here, so you can't really see it. So happy to leave that there or get rid of it, whatever you prefer. Yeah, what else is there? So I'm gonna pull forward a little bit. Oops, other way. So that I can shut the garage. Double check I am far enough back, plenty of room. Oh, let me turn the car off so I don't gas myself. Don't tell me that needed power. There we go. So HomeLink is working totally fine. There's 3 slots. No issues there. Open that back up. What else is there? These guys, hello. A little dirty, but totally fine. I haven't even really used them. I'll get those cleaned up. Same thing over here. I don't believe there's a light. Yeah, I don't see one. So no light. At least that's better for longevity. And could that be it? Feel like I might be missing something. Aside from windshield washer stuff, which I'd rather not do, but I suppose that is kind of important. Okay, I'll do it. I just washed the car. Let me pull it out. Oh, backup camera. That's a good call out. Also has the front and rear parking sensors that show up on that grayed out Macan dude there. All right, now we have, let's zoom out. Windshield wipers. Let me remember where the fluid is holding it down. Oh gosh, I'm doing it wrong. My poor windshield. There we go. So that's okay. There we go. Now we'll see the rear wiper go. And the windshield washer fluid for it. All right, I think that's it. All right, here's a quick demo of the motion sensors working. Oh, sorry, focusing on the road. All right, and the last thing I forgot to show was the CarPlay module working. So I have the full documentation, so it'll come with instructions and everything. It's really easy to set up, just a couple button presses in that menu. The way you access it is just holding down info. And if you want audio to go through, you have to set source to aux. So basically come here, set it to aux, and then hold down info. And then you get back to here. And there's also like the main menu of the system. This is where you set it up just with a couple clicks. And I've only done this for CarPlay. I'm not sure what the setup for Android Auto is, but presumably it's about the same. Oops. Connect device, add a new one. And it just takes, I don't know, 15 seconds. So that's all that. Let's go back into there. I might have unpaired myself. Okay, yeah, I unpaired myself by clicking those buttons. So back in, it killed my recording. Basically just going to show that the touchscreen works, although it's not the best experience. It's certainly the older style of touch technology. For tapping, it works totally fine, but for any sort of swiping, you kind of have to push sort of aggressively. You can also use the buttons and do it that style, so you can certainly do that if you want, but the touchscreen does work. You just kind of gotta, you know, be a little bit aggressive with it. And then of course audio is working just fine. And yeah, so there's also a picture of a couple of extra cables that I did not install. I pretty much did the bare minimum just to get CarPlay working, but there's of course other stuff available that you can expand this to. You can, you know, wire additional cameras, do a surround view camera system. There's also a microphone if you want improved microphone. I think the way I have it set up now, I'm not sure if it uses the built-in microphone of the car or if it uses your phone's microphone when you're on a call, but it works fine, so I didn't do that. I didn't want to drill any holes or anything, so but there's more things you can do with it. There's also a USB port that, you know, you could just plug in a thumb drive for additional media if you don't want to have to go through CarPlay and so forth, or at least have a backup. And of course this is wireless, but I think through that same USB port, you know, you can just plug into it if you want to also charge while doing it, or just don't want to use wireless CarPlay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It works pretty well. It's pretty snappy. Really the only downside is the touchscreen itself, but not much you can do about that. But it's been otherwise really good. All right, that's all. All right, now we're gonna go on a little evening drive here, get it up to temp, do a couple laps. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this so far in the videos, but the car is a Canadian model. It was sold in Vancouver, BC, and then they drove it down to Seattle. I don't know how soon after, but it's been in the Bellevue area for most of its life. And pretty much the only difference that I've noticed in the Canadian model is the speedo being in kilometers, but everything else is about the same. And Obviously you have the digital readout at the bottom of the tack, so it doesn't make a huge difference. There are a couple of rattles, not always there, but one of them is in the driver's door panel, somewhere just around the little board with all the window switches, and it doesn't really sound like anything's wrong. It just sounds like plastic on plastic, like, you know, poor design, just the plastic aging a little bit. So I don't necessarily think there's anything to fix there. Obviously you could you know, obviously you could take the door panel apart and try filling it with something. And then the other one is right around the clock up there. It doesn't happen all that often, so I haven't really investigated it. I know that you can, of course, take that whole panel apart, so it would probably be an easy little investigation, but I have not done that yet. But as you can hear right now, nothing yet. And I should apologize. As you can tell, I don't have any suction cup or camera equipment, no GoPro, so apologies for the crappy video, but I think the audio might be a little bit more important here anyway. Paddle shifters are working good. I haven't used them all that much, but PDK, definitely solid. Quick shifts. Awkward doing it with one hand. Give me a sec, I gotta get out of manual mode, back into drive, so I don't have to worry about that. I am not a big speeder. I only really do 70-ish, 75 to 77 if it's 70. So I can't speak to how it feels at speeds above that, but at those speeds, totally smooth. Definitely living up to the, you know, the Autobahn machine this thing's kind of built for. I'm cheating a little bit. This road is brand new. They just repaved it. But the road noise in general is pretty good. It's exceptionally quiet right now though, just because the road's brand new. I don't know if it's picking up, but I'm just starting to hear the door panel squeaking. Now it's being quiet, of course. Maybe it's only when my arm is on it. Okay, live investigation. Nope, still not there. Yeah, it kind of goes in and out, but definitely nothing in there. I think it's just some of the panels chafing. Sorry again for the camera work. This is the first time I've ever done this. I'm trying not to look at my phone too much, because I care more about my life than I do selling this car. More rattles, you hear that? Rattle's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Brakes are super good. They're a little too good right now. As you saw in my paperwork, all the rotors are replaced, the pads are replaced, and the control arms, all kinds of stuff. So it's driving really well, which obviously was frustrating for me when I bought it, putting that much money into it. It was funny because I thought it drove really well when I test drove it, and I really liked it. Yeah, I didn't really have a point of reference. I've never really driven a performance SUV before, so I thought it drove great. And then obviously once I got that work done, pretty much everything I've had done to it, you know, first the control arms and the rotors and brakes, and then especially after getting the engine and transmission mounts redone, the driving characteristics have just gotten way better. It's just a lot more tight, a lot more what I imagine it was like brand new. So I was at least happy to feel the difference after spending that much money. How we doing on temps? Looks like we're all good, almost. All right, let's put it into sport mode. Hopefully no one's behind me. I'll try to give it a little more gas on the on-ramp here. Assuming I even make it to the light. It's probably for the best. Oh my God, my arm's getting tired. Making sure the windows are all the way up. And that is perfect. Nobody in front of me. Okay, let's see if we get a green. I'll try to keep my hand out of the way. Ease off here. And again. Pretty smooth. I can also report that the car is smelling totally fine now. The last piece of work I did was I think the valve cover gasket. I'd been noticing in my garage it was having that classic Porsche oil smell. Wasn't sure if it was just burning a little bit, but got it checked out, and yeah, the gasket was going, so that got replaced, and fortunately the smell is gone now, so pretty confident that is not going to be an issue moving forward. Oh, there's a good demo of the blind spot monitor working. Glad I caught that. I've never used the lane keep assist thing. I'm not exactly sure if it's a corrective system or if it'll nudge the steering wheel, or if it's just yelling at me. Can try turning that on and see what happens. I've never used it. All right, let's see what happens. Let's try to get near this lane. Yep, it actually is a correct corrective one, so it's tugging on the steering wheel to keep me back. And yeah, it looks like that little green guy popped up there yelling at me. Or maybe that just means the system's active. I didn't pay attention when I clicked the button. Yeah, it looks like it's staying there permanently. So it looks like a thing you have to turn on every time you get in the car. Is my guess. Otherwise that green thing probably wouldn't float there. But yeah, it does work well. Let's get over a lane. Quick audio test too. I don't have any music loaded on this thing. And I forgot to repair it to the Apple CarPlay. I should probably upload a clip of that as well.
Non-stop on 96.5 Jack FM.
Yeah, audio system is pretty good. They didn't do a insane job. I mean, it's 2015 as well. But for me, it's amazing because I'm coming from a Rivian R1T right before this, which notoriously had a absolute garbage sound system. So compared to that, this thing is awesome. And the sub in the back, you know, it's a somewhat dinky one, but for factory, it's pretty decent. Oh, just remembered one thing I never, oh, voice crack. One thing I never showed earlier was the heated steering wheel. See that thing activated? The button is between the spokes down here. I did not even know that it had that when I got the car, so I jump scared myself clicking it on accident one time. But it also works really well. I think the carbon fiber steering wheel is just good for that in general. I was hoping the roundabout would do a good job of showing the moving headlights, whatever that feature is called, Porsche active lighting, whatever. They do have some motors in the headlights, so they move around, making it a little bit easier to see around corners. All right, I think I got everything I wanted to. I'll leave it there. Happy to go out for another drive if anybody has any specific things they want to see, so just let me know.